So I want to talk a little bit more about Jalen Hurts. We kind of broached it a little bit. I want to try to put a button on the whole Jalen Hurts topic. You know, at times, or let me start it like this. Jalen Hurts doesn't need or doesn't have to overthink his situation with the Philadelphia Eagles. He doesn't have to overthink it. He doesn't have to do the most. He doesn't have to be Superman. He ain't got to be Batman. He ain't got to do none of that. Listen, we don't need Jalen Hurts to be Cyclops. We don't need him to be Wolverine. We don't need Jalen Hurts to be Storm or Jean Grey. We don't even need Jalen Hurts to be Jubilee or Beast. We need Jalen Hurts to be Professor X. Be Professor X. We need you to just sit back and let your X-Men take care of the heavy lifting. All you got to do is play point guard, brother. You ain't got to overthink this situation with the Eagles. You got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley. You don't need to be Cyclops. We don't need you to be Wolverine, diving in head first. We need you to be Professor X. We need you to push all the buttons. We need you to just hang out in the Black Jet, in the Black Hawk. We need you to hang out in the Black Hawk and call the plays. You know what I mean? Hey, go over here, go over here. Hey, Wolverine, we need you over here. Hey, Jean Grey, we need you over here. Hey, Cyclops, go help Jubilee. We need you to play point guard. We need you to oversee this thing. We need you to make the best possible decisions because your decisions matter. You ever notice that Cyclops, Wolverine, Autumn, they don't make decisions. Professor X makes the decisions. Professor X points. Professor Xavier points. And Cyclops shoots. You feel what I'm saying? When Professor Xavier say get him, Wolverine says I got him. So Hurts, you ain't gotta be the guy that you was trying to be on Friday night. You ain't got to be the guy that's got to win it all in one throw. Throwing in triple coverage, throwing across your body. Sometimes it's okay to live and fight another day. Because across the hall, the X-Men got to deal with the Brotherhood. Magneto and his boys, Juggernaut, Mystique. You feel what I'm saying? They got some heavy hitters on that side. So you don't want to be careless and put your X-Men in compromising situations. Professor Xavier can't afford to be reckless with his decisions because now Wolverine is going to get caught lacking by Sabretooth. Cyclops is going to get caught lacking by Juggernaut. And now Jalen Hurts, Professor X, you're going to get caught lacking by Magneto. So again, you got all these weapons. You don't got to do that. You're good. You're good. You got it out your system. Listen, I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a clean game on Monday night. I really do. And again, you got Jesse Bates out there, Justin Simmons, AJ Terrell. You don't want to be stupid. You don't want to just throw the ball up and just think you don't want to do that. It's not complimentary football. Because when Jalen Hurts is reckless with the football, you're not only compromising your X-Men on the offense, you compromising your X-Men on the defense. You feel what I'm saying? You know, typically, Nightcrawler, he played defense. Typically, you know, Storm, she plays defense, right? You don't want to compromise those people. You don't want to do that. Your defense did a hell of a job. To bailing you out on more than one occasion. They were huge in the red zone. Don't put them in that position again. You were fortunate. You were fortunate. Don't put your team in that position again, Jay Hurts, because you're gonna make it hard for me to defend you. And I'm always ready to throw bowls for you. You feel what I'm saying? I'm always ready to knuckle up for you, bro. But I can't. If you're doing that, if you're putting the Eagles in those kind of situations, throwing those type of interceptions, I can't condone that. I can't protect that. You feel what I'm saying? I just can't. So his decisions have to be A1. I think they have so much to look at on film. I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a much cleaner game. If nothing's there, throw it away. Don't hurt your team and force a play. This Eagles team is going to be explosive regardless. They're going to put up points quick regardless. You saw in the second half, the third quarter, 2 plays, a 66-yard touchdown or a 65, 64-yard touchdown. 2 plays. A.J. Brown to the house. This offense is going to be explosive. You're going to put up numbers on any and everybody. Trust that. Trust that. And don't think you got to get it all back in one play, because you sure can lose it all in one play. It's easy to lose a game in one play than to win it in one play. You feel what I'm saying? No game is won in one play, but a game can be lost in one play. It can be. So, the Eagles, they're going to be back home, back at Lincoln Financial Field. I think we're going to see a significantly cleaner game from Jalen Hurts. I'm a firm believer. I'm a firm believer that the lack of preseason action really showed itself in that game, especially for the offense in the first quarter. Those first couple of drives, offense was shaky, but Jalen Hurts was shaky. Let's put it that way. But I think the cobwebs are gone. And, despite the 2 interceptions, he did go 20 for 34, 278 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns. We still haven't seen what this offense can really do yet. So there's no need for Jalen Hurts to be reckless. There's no need for him to be reckless. Let me get to your comments. Let's see. My man, the real RMP, or the real Pistol P, excuse me. He says, sounds like you want him to be a game manager. Not even necessarily a game manager. I want Jalen Hurts to be him, but you don't got to overthink it. Matter of fact, here's the thing, right? I'm tired of, and again, this Pistol P, this is not about you. I'm tired of people putting it out there like being a game manager is a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. Game managers win Super Bowls. Like, Tom Brady is the ultimate game manager. He's the greatest game manager we've ever seen. You feel me? And honestly, when you're playing a football game, when you really watch it, for the most part, every play is not an explosive play. Most of the time, you're managing the game, and then you pick your spots to blow. You pick your spots to, gash them down the middle. You got to be surgical. You got to be you got to have timing, right? Execution. You can't always bring the biggest gun to war. You feel what I'm saying? I got another analogy for y'all. Y'all all play Call of Duty. I'm sure y'all all seen, military movies, things of that nature, right? And thank you again, Pistol P. You really jogged my my thought for this. I really do appreciate you, brother. It's not that I want Jalen Hurts to be a game manager, right? I want him to know. I want him to pick his spots and know when it's time to be. There's a time to put the cape on. Superman is not Superman all the time. He's Clark Kent when he's chilling. Most of the time, you want your quarterback to be Clark. Most of the time, you want your quarterback to be Clark Kent until it's time to be Superman. And I think Jalen Hurts has that in him. But you don't got to be Superman all the time, right? So again, back to the whole Call of Duty, military movie thing, right? When you go into war, or when you in battle, when you playing Call of Duty, whatever it may be, right? Do you use a sniper in every situation? Do you use a bazooka or an RPG in every situation? Do you use your knife in every situation? Your sidearm in every situation? Your primary in every situation? No, you choose your loadout for that particular situation. You choose your weapons of choice for a particular situation, right? So you don't want to always use the bazooka. in battle. You might need the sniper today. You may need the Glock today. You may need the AR today. And Jalen has a lot of weapons at his disposal. He has weapons. He has plenty of weapons. But you got to pick your spots and not abuse them. Because when you abuse them, it leads to turnovers. It leads to turnovers. Pick your spot. That's all. Pick your spots. It's the same thing Josh Allen is learning. It's the same thing Patrick Mahomes had to learn after he lost Tyreek Hill. When Patrick Mahomes lost Tyreek Hill, he had to change his perspective on the game. He had to change his perspective on how he plays offense. That Chiefs offense when Tyreek Hill was there and they had Kareem Hunt, explosive. But then when he lost Tyreek Hill and his receiving core wasn't really up to par and he just had Travis Kelce, he had to be a little bit more surgical. He couldn't always go for the home run. He had to settle for a single. Maybe he had to settle for a bunt there. Maybe a double. Maybe a triple. And then eventually, home run. And then you never know, grand slam. So picking your spots, knowing what's needed from you in a given situation, knowing how much time is on the clock, what down and distance is, what the scorecard is, right? You were up 31 to 25 or 26, was it? I think it was 26. You were up 31 to 26. And you threw an interception in the red zone, throwing across your body. That is unacceptable. You didn't need to do that. I rewatched the game this morning, by the way. I rewatched the game this morning, and I saw that drive, and I'm like, what was you were moving the ball very well, as a matter of fact. You were moving the ball, and all of a sudden you got cute. All of a sudden you got cute for some odd reason. You're moving the ball. Saquon Barkley just got first down, if I'm not mistaken. And you got cute. Let me double check that. I want to make sure I got that play-by-play correct. Because I just want to make sure I'm as accurate as possible about what I'm describing here. You guys are tuned in to Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge us to the game. Make sure you guys smash that like button on the way in, and make sure you smash that like button on the way out. Okay, so you started the ball at your own 33-yard line. You're moving the ball. You're moving. Saquon Barkley rushed for 34 yards. You threw an 11-yard pass to Grant Calcaterra. You threw an 11-yard pass to A.J. Brown. And then this is where things went haywire, right? As soon as they got in the red zone, Jalen Hurts tucks it and tries to run. He should have gave it to Saquon right there. He decides to tuck it and run and keep it, 3-yard loss. And then Jalen Hurts tried to make a pass to Jahan Dotson, almost turned into a pick six. And then on the following play, 3rd and 13, you throw a ball in the end zone, intercepted by Jair Alexander. Not a smart decision. Overthinking it. Getting cute. For what? You're up. You're up in the game. The score is 31-26. You're in control. You're in the red zone. No need to overthink anything. Play the game at your own pace. But they got cute in that red zone for some odd reason. I'm giving the ball to Saquon Barkley. He's hot. Just give it to him. Make your life easy. Saquon was right there. You think Saquon wasn't getting that touchdown? Being at the Green Bay 11-yard line? He was getting that. So, again, better decision-making needs to be had. And some of those decisions we saw he should not be making them. At this point in his career, should not be making those decisions. That's a fact. And y'all know me, I ride for Hurts, but I'm going to tell her how it is. I'm very, very fair. Very honest as well. My man Shep with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much, my man. He says, go Birds. I really do appreciate Shep, man. Shep always comes in. He blesses the live chat. And he always says, go Birds, man. Nothing more, nothing less. Just keeps that energy flowing. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, thank you. All right, let's see where we are. Once again, thank you, Shep. I really do appreciate you, brother. BB says, new system and no preseason. Jalen needs to learn. He's got a great running back. At that point in the game, Saquon already had 3 touchdowns. You don't know that man great by now? You feel what I'm saying? At that point in the game, Jalen Hurts already Saquon got 3 touchdowns. You don't realize how good he is yet? You don't realize how good he is yet. B. Mills says, we need to stop the slander, bro. He won us the game, by the way. Of course he won the game. Yes, they won the game. But what we're doing here, B. Mills, is what those coaches are doing right now. What we're doing right here, they're probably saying something 10 times worse. Jalen, you can't do that. You're better than that. That's Bush League. That's JV football decisions you made. You don't throw across your body. You don't throw in triple coverage. So this isn't slander. This is acknowledging the mistakes of the player and how he needs to be better going forward. That's all. And besides, we're family here. We're all fans of the Philadelphia. Well, some of us are fans of the Philadelphia Eagles, but we're all supporters of this player. We're all supporters of this team. We got to call it how we see it sometimes. That's all. He had a strong second and third quarter. His fourth quarter, he had a strong final drive in the fourth quarter. You feel what I'm saying? Jalen Hurts had a okay game. I can't say he had a good game. I won't say he had a bad game either. You know, a lot of people want to say that. A lot of people want to say Jalen Hurts had an awful game. He didn't. If he had an awful game, the Eagles would have lost. But they didn't lose. Jalen Hurts overcame the early turnovers and threw 2 passing touchdowns, threw for over 270 yards. I need that completion percentage to be up a little bit. I think his completion percentage was, let me double check this. Because he went, 20 for 34, right? He went 20 for 34. 20 divided by 34 is what? 20 divided by 34? That's 50. That's 59%. So he completed 59% of his passes, while Jordan Love only completed 50% of his passes. So Jalen Hurts, I need that completion percentage to be up, right? I need Jalen Hurts to be around, 67. That's what I think he should be around completing 67% of his passes. That's what I would like. Damon says, so if AJ didn't slip, would you still call that second pick a bad decision? But I mean, if he catches it, then we're not even talking about it, right? If he catches it, we're not talking about it. And I even said, I don't know if you caught this, Damon, but I even said, I watched that film. I rewatched the game this morning. Literally, I saw what Jalen Hurts saw. I understand what he was thinking. But the problem is you threw the ball way too late and you telegraphed where you were going with it. Because there was a big-ass space for him. I get it. It was a big-ass space. But you threw the ball late. A.J. Brown slipped. You just put the ball in harm's way. It was in harm's way. It was a risky and then not only did you wait too long, you rolled right and you threw across your body, making the throw more difficult than it had to be. Because I saw it. He left the pocket early. He threw the ball way too late, and then he threw it across his body. He made mistakes, and it's okay. I'm not going to hold it against him. I think he's going to have a way cleaner Atlanta game. I firmly believe that. I'm still on the train that Jalen Hurts is going to, where is it? I'm still on the train that Jalen Hurts is only going to throw 7 interceptions. This was my stat prediction for Jalen Hurts for the season. 67% completion percentage, 4,000 passing yards, around 30 passing touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 550 rushing yards, 7 rush TDs, 3 fumbles. 3 fumbles lost. Let me make sure I correct that. Fix that. And 3 fumbles lost. So he's on pace for 34 passing touchdowns. As of right now, he threw 2 interceptions in week 1. So technically, he's on pace for 34 interceptions. Technically, if we're just doing math, he's on pace for 34 interceptions. But again, it's one game, right? So I'm not even really trying to have that conversation. But all I'm trying to say is he made mistakes. He made mistakes, and we got to talk about it. That's all it is. We got to talk about it. I'm trying to be honest here. As much love as I give Jalen Hurts, I could be honest about that man. I get that man a ton of love. I take a lot of bullets defending that man. I take a lot of bullets. B Mill says, I hear you, bro. I'm just tired of everybody harping on that pick. Hashtag go birds. I feel you, bro. I feel you on that. And I really don't mean to harp on it. I'm just trying to use that as a springboard to explain that I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a really good game against the Falcons. I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a much stronger game, way clearer game. I think how that game went. I think how things went with the Packers really kind of like that's the kind of game that wakes you up a little bit. Like, okay, all right, I ain't got to do that kind of stuff. I think Jalen Hurts is going to be way better. I really, really do. All right. Let me get to my final topic here. And I really do appreciate you guys being here. Let me get to my final topic here. But before I do so, let me read some of your comments. And thank you guys all for donating to the channel. I appreciate Shizzo for his super chat. I appreciate Davon Tyree for his super chat. I'm grateful to my man Infamous 2K with his 2 super chats. And thank you, Shep, for donating to the channel as well. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. All right. Luther Winfield says Jalen played decent. Line played okay. Defense was up and down. We scored 34 points and could have easily been over 40. ATL's in trouble. Yeah, man. Pretty much laid it out right there, right? Jalen was mid. He played decent. He was decent. Overcame the bad mistakes, right? Offensive line was pretty good. Offensive line played like a top 5 offensive line. I think the offensive line rankings or numbers are out, but I think if the Eagles played like a top 5 offensive line. Defense was up and down, but the defense was very strong in the red zone. Very strong in the red zone. Their timing was really good. They got off the field on crucial drives. They held up in the red zone. Run defense was spotty, right? Run defense was very spotty. They had stretches where run defense was good. Then they had stretches where run defense was lacking. I wonder what that's about. So, yeah, I think you pretty much laid it out, Luther. Damon says, let's see. Hold on. Yeah, Damon says, no, I didn't catch it. I just hopped on. As B. Mills said, everybody's on the same BS, like the team looked like the end of 23 instead of the team who was rusty from not playing the preseason. You know what's funny, right? I'm glad you said that, Damon. I actually don't think this team, the way the game went, it doesn't remind me of last year at all, because of the simple fact that the way the offense looked when they were on, right? Like once they got past the early struggles or the early mistakes, that offense was a well-oiled machine. They were moving the ball well. Guys were open. I didn't feel like A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith or anybody really had to struggle to get open. You feel what I'm saying? Like it didn't seem like it was a struggle putting play calls together. The run game was working. Saquon was doing his thing. AJ was getting open. Devontae was getting open. Dallas had moments where he got open. Even Grant Calcaterra had a catch. You know what I'm saying? Kenny G had some moments, right? I don't compare this to last season at all. I don't care. I don't care if the turnovers happened or not. They just looked different. The defense played different. The offense played different. There was a different urgency on the defensive side of the ball. Even when they did have their mistakes, they were flying around. There were bright spots. You feel what I'm saying? I felt like the DBs played decent. I felt like the linebackers played decent. D-line has to be better, obviously. Then on offense, again, the play calling was solid. The play calling was really good. You saw what they were able to create with the motions and how much space you saw Devontae Smith in, and how much space AJ Brown would have at moments. I mean, this wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. So Demond, I feel you. It wasn't the same at all.